floor. A.C. Dowsmith and Partners Investment Consultants.
Rearranging his financial affairs before leaving the country.
There's nothing sus about that, like every other call he's made this morning.
Inspector Gamble said it was a long shot. Patience, Robert.
You say that again.
Long shots have been known to come off.
What odds are you offering? Yes, Miss Pringle?
Mr. Killett is here, sir.
Be right with him, tell him, please. Show Mr. Killett in, please.
Yes, Mr. Dowsmith.
Mr. Killett, good morning. Do sit down. Oh, Miss Pringle, we're not to be disturbed for anything.
No, thanks. Oh, that's over for me now.
Of course, doctor's orders, you did say.
I'm taking a big risk, aren't I?
Relax, Mr. Killett. Worrying can't be good for your heart either. I've provided this service for dozens of my clients, all completely satisfied.
I wouldn't have turned a hair before that bloody coronary.
You could have an escort of Scotland Yard top brass all the way to the airport, through the customs and onto the plane, and they wouldn't have a clue.
That's not the risk I'm worrying about. I suddenly thought, what about you?
I'm sorry, I don't follow.
I've got no comeback if you do me down.
Would you like a receipt? Of course, you couldn't very well sue me on it if I did do you down, not without explaining where you got it from.
I put myself right into your hands. That's what I suddenly thought.
But you trusted your doctor with your heart, your solicitor with your divorce.
There's damn nearly a whole lifetime's graft in there.
One of the most respected businessmen in Geneva. We work together constantly. I'm a professional man, Mr. Killett. You're talking as if I were some sort of criminal. Now, my clients must be absolutely sure they want to put themselves in my hands. Shall I cable Geneva, tell them it's all off?
No, no. I'm going. It's definite. I made the business over to my lads.
May I? You won't need to lock it again after today. If customs do search it, which is extremely unlikely, they find your clothes, that's all. None in numbered sequences.
I said there wouldn't be.
And the exact amount?
51,500.
$51,500. Thank you. Less my commission, 2%. That's... Oh, forgive the vulgarity, but I wouldn't like you to arrive at the other side and think you've been shortchanged. At 2%, only just over 4 figures. 1,030. That would you make it?
You cream off over 1,000 quid just for...
I did state my terms. Rather less than the income tax you'd get taken for if you declared this little nest egg. Not to mention surtax. The Inland Revenue would want, at a rough estimate, say 30,000 of it.
I never said it was undeclared.
Well, if you can get it out of the country a better
I'll
way...
collect it tomorrow. Don't want to hang around here now.
All right.
That is, unless you want to count it whilst I'm still here.
You can't do business without trust. Or didn't that apply in the second-hand car trade? Good afternoon, Mr. Killett. I'll work out a portfolio on those lines. Call back in the morning. I still don't want to be disturbed.
Yes, sir, I've been meaning to chat to you about that.
Well, I've had another reminder sent down. That currency nick's probably in our neck of the woods.
Yes, the trouble is, there's nobody to complain, officer, I've been done. I mean, there's nobody to give us a decent lead.
This Harry Killett you're having watched, Forced compartments in export cars, that's your theory?
No, sir, the customs would spot that too easily. No, this Harry Killett has made a pile out of second-hand cars. You know, very sharp he was. But now Killett Motors is a highly respectable business run by sons in public school ties.
Get honest, eh?
Exactly. But Killett is ill now, and he's packing it in to live abroad. Now, it wouldn't surprise me if he hasn't a load of hot money stashed away somewhere that he'd like to take with him and no questions asked.
You're hoping he'll lead you to the currency smugglers?
Well, you'll have had the nod for sure. I mean, the service is there if he wants it. Where's Killett been this morning, Sergeant?
Just where you'd expect. Travel agent, solicitor, estate agent, bank manager, investment consultants, and then back home. Roberts is on watch.
That all sounds perfectly legitimate to me. You sure you're not clutching at straws?
Well, of course I am, sir. I mean, what else is there to... Investment, did you say, Sergeant?
Investment consultants. AC Dowsmith and Partners.
What on earth would Harry Killett want with investment advice? I mean, he knows more about the share market than I do.
Well, what about foreign investments? They could interest him now.
Yes. Find out who AC Dowsmith and Partners are, if they really exist.
Oh, he went in with a suitcase and came out without it.
Well, they've existed since this was printed anyway.
Thank you, sir. Yes, well, I'll go and see them.
Now, look, just because I'm chasing, don't you go overstepping the mark. This could be a respectable firm with very influential clients.
I thought the name rang a bell. This was under business classified. Money problems, consult AC Dowsmith and Partners.
Well, let's go and see if they can solve our money problems.
What's this?
It's for you.
Liz, didn't we agree that we're past this sort of thing? I don't need reminding that I'm a year older.
Open it, Aubrey, please. It's no leather.
Yes, pigskin. Pity I don't bring work home any longer, isn't it?
But why don't you sometimes? I wouldn't disturb you. You wouldn't know I was here.
Liz, don't interfere in business. You don't understand.
Why don't you take today off? We could do something together.
I've a client coming to see me.
I don't mind. After that.
Look, it's a very busy day.
That's how you want to spend your birthday.
Liz, he's a very important client.
I'm sure he is. Aubrey, if you find you can get away, well, we'll do whatever you like.
Well, if I can, I'll ring. But it's not very likely.
Solicitors, accountants.
I don't care if the editor of the police review's on one side and the church commissioner's on the other.
Well, there it is.
Oh, think about it.
Oh, you came prepared. Right size, too.
Smith, Brown, or Robinson?
Good morning.
Good morning.
My secretary doesn't come in until 10 o'clock. Can I help? Aubrey Dowsmith.
Yes, well, we saw your advert in the paper and we wondered if you would, well, give us some advice.
Certainly, Mr...
Robinson.
Mrs. Robinson? Do come in.
Thank you.
I don't normally see clients without an appointment, naturally, but
I'm-
under the circumstances...
I'm sorry, but you see, we keep on reading about these people who live abroad to save tax, and, well, actually, it started us thinking.
Well, I'm still a bit doubtful. I mean, it's all right for film stars with all their money.
Yes, few of us are in that bracket, I'm afraid.
No.
This money, how did you accumulate it?
My wife's father died, a widower. My wife was his only daughter.
Not in cash, is it?
Yes, I invested it. Of course, I'm nothing of an expert, but we haven't done too badly, have we, darling?
No, not so far.
The trouble is, everything is so heavily taxed these days.
Yes, all unearned income. That hits particularly hard. Of course, you do realize that you can't just put your money in a suitcase and leave the country. There are strict controls, very strict.
Yes, my bank manager tells me we're only allowed 5,000.
Yes, for the whole family. Have you children, Mrs. Robinson?
No, unfortunately. Just one of those things.
Yes, I know how it is. Of course, you can apply to exceed the limit. Then there are Eurodollars.
Oh.
But they're only within reach of a working tycoon.
Oh, well, what would you advise?
But how much over the limit had you in mind?
Oh, possibly 10, maybe a bit more.
Another 10,000. I doubt whether...
It can't be done.
Let me look into it for you. Leave me your name and address.
Yeah, yes, certainly.
Oh, and 2 referees, Mr. Robinson.
Oh, yes, would my bank manager and accountant do?
Admirable. Just a precaution, you understand?
Oh, yes, quite. There we are.
Well, I'll be in touch. Soon as I've anything to go on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Dowsmith.
Good morning, Miss Pringle. Show Mr. and Mrs. Robinson out, would you please?
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Not easy to choose for the man who's got everything.
Got everything.
Well, haven't you?
You really are very good to me.
I told you to tread carefully. You know the rules about agent provocateur. It's dynamite.
But I didn't say anything to provoke him, sir.
Asking how to get money out of the country.
Well, I didn't say illegally. Did you get anything, Sergeant?
Very little out of the ordinary. AC Dowsmith and Partners is properly registered under the Business Names Act. Aubrey Keverton Dowsmith Trading House.
Perfectly normal practice.
He's been in business 6 years. He's furnished premises, lease a year to run. The house is on a fat mortgage and the car's on HP.
Ah, living beyond his means.
Well, that doesn't mean he's dishonest.
Oh, I spoke to the caretaker at his secretary's flat, and she said a man answering his description visits her there regularly.
Does he?
This is the fraud squad, not the vice squad.
Running 2 homes, that would need extra income. Therefore, a cash racket on the side.
But couldn't he earn a good living as an investment consultant and still live beyond it?
Yes, if he knew his stuff and worked hard. Look, not one of my business contacts has sent anyone to him. A bit of a dubious quantity. That's the general consensus.
But if a police inspector were having a thing going with a woman police constable, would it necessarily follow he was running a side racket?
If he was paying for her rent, her clothes, presents, and so on? Well, I couldn't afford it on my salary, Sergeant.
Which reminds me.
Freddie Sugar 5 to HQ. Good morning, Mr. Killett. From Pierre Schaffner. He will expect you to hand it to him at Geneva Airport as proof of identification. Just a letter of introduction to his import-export firm.
How'd I know him?
He'll know you. It's all fixed. It can't go wrong.
Not your worry, is it? If I get stopped before I get on that plane, you'll be here, bum-proof.
Now, why should they stop you? And if they do, so what? Would it make you feel any happier if I was to see you off?
Myself a bit, yes.
All right. Why shouldn't I say goodbye to an old friend? All part of the Dowsmith service.
And his name's Harry Killett. He's in his late 50s. He's on the flight to Geneva, and he's coming through Gate B now.
Tartan case. Certain, are you?
Reason to suspect.
Good reason.
Reason.
Evidence.
That's what I want you to get.
Dicey, is it?
Now, look.
Coming through now. He's kept the case as hand luggage. He's got no other baggage. But guess what? Dowsmith's with him, seeing him off it seems.
Dowsmith, well, he's got a nerve.
Who's that?
The man we suspect fixes it, all right?
I'll not say thanks till I'm through. I'll write you.
No, don't do that. Might be open.
Well,
I'll wait till you're through. I promise.
thanks.
Excuse me, sir. Would you mind coming with me a moment? This way, sir.
Something wrong?
Might I ask you, sir, are you taking any prohibited goods out of the country?
No. Unless there's things prohibited I don't know about.
Maybe, sir.
I'll miss my plane.
There's time before takeoff.
You're looking for a false compartment, are you?
We have to be thorough, sir.
Why don't you strip me, too?
I'm sorry you were inconvenienced, sir. It was just a routine check.
Well, I'll forgive you. As long as I don't miss my plane.
You won't, sir.
Last memory of the old country. You're going to get his fingers at long last.
Very dicey, wasn't it?
So?
He could have turned quite awkward.
But he didn't, did he? And we've eliminated rigged luggage, haven't we?
So what? Well, if we can be of any assistance, Inspector, do call on us at any time. Excuse me, it's a rather busy day.
You still think Dartmouth's getting money out for Killett?
I don't think, Sergeant. I know.
You can't say I didn't warn you. I'd be very surprised if Dartmouth hasn't put two and two together. But you go in there and his client is pulled out by the customs. Well, the man's no fool. He's professional. Uses brains, logic, judgment. I'd be very surprised if he isn't asking questions. Probably making a complaint. At what level it'll backfire on us, heaven only knows.
All right, let's say Killett asked for foreign investment advice. And let's say that he's borrowing money over there because he can't take enough out legitimately to play the market. And let's say Dowsmith knows him well enough to see him off at the airport. It still doesn't explain why he left that suitcase overnight.
Have you never left a parcel anywhere to save lugging it around?
Well, Dowsmith's office wasn't on Killett's way to the airport. Anyway, he wasn't lugging it, sir. He hired a car.
But that's not enough reason to suspect a man.
Are you saying lay off him, sir?
That's your decision, Inspector. I'm saying be just a little more careful, that's all.
And discreet.
Oh, well, I'm sure we can leave that to you.
Good morning. We're police officers.
Police?
Yes, you probably heard there's been a rash of housebreaking in the area.
Oh, for a minute I thought something dreadful. Burglars?
While housewives are out shopping.
Oh, yes, I saw something in the paper.
We're crime prevention officers, and we'd like to check your security, doors, windows, and...
You are a police officer?
Sergeant Hicks.
Oh, yes. Do come in.
Thank you. Do you always go out by this door?
Oh, no, I always use the back door. I bolt this top and bottom religiously.
Do you pick up children the same time from school every day?
No, we haven't any children.
Just you and your husband?
Yes.
Do you go out much in the evening?
No. Mr. Dowsmith's a very busy man. He works very hard. Well, sometimes he has to sleep at the office.
May we see the back door?
Oh, certainly. I've asked Mr. Dowsmith to have an extra lock put on. When he's away on business, I get a bit nervous.
He travels, does he?
Sometimes. You did say that these burglaries only happen in the day, didn't you? It's the nights I don't like.
Anne, has anyone asked you what goes on here?
No? Someone might.
Killett was searched by customs.
Do they suspect?
Could be they know he made a lot of money on the side.
What's the matter? I've never seen you look so worried.
No, I'm not worried. I'm just keeping one jump ahead.
What would you do if you were caught?
I've thought of that too. I'd still be ahead.
Oh, good afternoon.
Mr. Robinson, do come in.
Oh, thank you.
How is Mrs. Robinson?
Oh, she's all right. Actually, we've had a bit of a disagreement.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, that's what I came to speak to you about. You see, well, she's getting cold feet.
Oh? About going to live abroad?
Well, not exactly. Well, how can I put it?
Needless to say, nothing goes outside these four walls.
Yeah, she's a bit scared that we might do something not quite within the law.
Visions of having customs find your luggage crammed with fibres. Come now.
Oh, well, I told her that no professional man would suggest anything that could be found out.
I'm afraid I can't help you.
Why not?
You're not the sort of person I deal with.
Not the sort of person, but my references are impeccable.
Yes, you wouldn't have given them to me if they hadn't been.
Yes,
I'm sorry, Mr. Robinson, I'm not even waiting for replies. Good morning.
I mean, why have you suddenly changed your attitude?
Because you seem to have the impression that I'm prepared to advise you how to fiddle money out of the country.
No, I didn't suggest that, not once.
That's what you're after, isn't it?
Well, you said you'd do what you could.
Yes, how I could frame an expert application to the Bank of England. In certain circumstances, they do allow some excess above the limit. That's all.
Yes, that's what I thought. Well, would you do that?
No, I'm afraid not, Mr. Robinson. I'm extremely strict in my choice of clients. Perhaps that's why I don't make a fortune. Good day, sir.
Good day, sir. What is it? What's the matter?
I'm closing the business.
He's on to you.
I don't know for sure, but I'm not waiting to find out. There's something going on. First of all, Killett at the airport. Now this Mr. Robinson. Well, they've got nothing on me so far, and I'll make sure they don't. I'm not greedy.
Where are you going?
I don't know. I'm trying to think.
You going for good?
Well, I've had a good run. I've got enough put by.
What about your home, your wife?
Liz? No, she'll have to stay behind.
What about me, Aubrey?
Would you like to come with me?
Depends.
On what?
The terms. How long before you get bored with me, too?
Leave Liz out of it.
Well, I can't help feeling sorry for her.
No, she'll get over it. She'll be better off in the long run. It'll force her to start again. She might even find someone else. Well, what do you say?
Better the devil you know.
Right, get your pad. There's a lot to be done.
Well, that leaves this room. Good, no French windows. That's a favourite entry.
There isn't anything worth taking.
Nothing valuable in the house at all?
Not really. Well, I've never been one for jewellery. Mr. Dowsmith says money's better in investments. That's his work, you see, so naturally I trust him.
Well, thank you very much. I'm sorry to have disturbed you. Does your husband's business take him away for long periods of time, or just a few nights?
Oh, he's never away for more than a night.
Oh, so he doesn't go very far, then?
Switzerland's the farthest, I think. But he doesn't go away that often. He hasn't been since, last year, I think.
Thank you. Interpol, Geneva, sir. Killett met at airport, taken straight to Lakeside Villa for sale.
Well, there's nothing odd in that. He's got to live somewhere.
A Lakeside Villa at those prices? Well, I know he could borrow money over there, but I mean, would he? I mean, Killett has been making quick cash profits for years. Now, do you think he'd leave that here, stuffed in an old sock, sir? No, sir, I don't believe he would.
And Dowsmith hasn't complained. Well, either he hasn't twigged, or he's not our man.
Oh, he's twigged all right, I've proved that. That's why he hasn't complained. Now, what interests me is what will he do? But nothing at all?
Well, I suppose it was a marriage once. She refers to him as Mr. Dowsmith. Says yes, dear, and keeps house. Unless she put on a better act than I did, she'd be scared stiff if she knew what he was up to.
Suits his purpose well, a respectable address, waited on hand and foot. What does she get out of it?
Oh, I doubt if she's ever asked herself. Tomorrow's rut will be the same as yesterday's.
Any sign of money?
I'd say they live on what he makes in a normal, honest business.
And that completes his cover to the outside world.
And to her, too, aren't there?
Oh, she did volunteer the information that he sometimes has to sleep at the office. Very hard-working, Mr. Dowsmith.
Gamble? Yep. Switch him through. Go ahead, Freddie Sugarfire.
Man with case just entered premises, sir.
Let's go.
Trips abroad?
Oh, Switzerland, she said, but she'd believe anything. She trusts him.
Dates?
Not since last year.
Not since then. Oh, here we go.
Well, it's obviously not the back-and-forth courier trick.
No, unless he uses a leg now.
Could Dowsmith be the contact man? Then not even the clients would know who's behind the racket.
Could be. You know, when it comes to the crunch, it's the Dowsmiths of this world who have built-in survival kits.
I cannot stress too strongly that this serious situation is no longer a matter of speculation. Please give urgent priority, therefore, to this next transaction. Yours faithfully. Now, a postscript. Your client, Dr. Pereira of Guatemala, has just called. We have advised him on United Kingdom money matters to his complete satisfaction. That must catch today's continental collection. Everything depends upon it. For us both.
If they haven't tumbled to me yet. He's not as bright as I thought.
This man had the case with him when he left.
Yes, but Killett left his overnight. That's what fooled me. But this other bloke, as you say, he took his money to Dowsmith, but unlike Killett, he brought his case out.
So the money's in there now.
Yes, in a lump sum. You'd have difficulty in hiding.
Excuse me,
No,
sir.
it's all right.
Mr. Robinson, I'm sorry. I'm extremely busy.
We're police officers.
Oh, now I see. Has one of my clients gone off the rails? Thank you, Miss Pringle. You might have told me who you were. What can I do to help you?
We have reason to believe that there's illegal money on these premises.
Here? What reason to believe?
Look, I haven't got a warrant, but I can get one.
My dear chap, you don't need a warrant.
Well, you're inviting me.
Why ever not?
Sergeant, Constable.
Inspector Robinson.
Gamble.
Oh, Gamble, thank you. Of
Fraud Squad.
Fraud Squad. Which of my clients is under suspicion?
Not certain yet.
Certain enough to turn my office out. It must be very serious.
It is.
Oh, I'd be glad if you didn't keep that open too long. They can't seem to cure that slight smell of gas.
Sorry, sir?
Have you any idea how the money is being smuggled out?
How do you know it's a currency inquiry?
From your performances as Mr. and Mrs. Robinson. Why don't you examine my accounts? You'll find no big transactions.
I didn't say it was you we suspected, did I, sir?
Could a client of mine secrete money in here without my knowing? In my safe? We only use it for stamps and petty cash overnight. Might as well, it comes with the lease.
Sergeant, try the outside office. May I?
Oh, by all means. Any money you find, we'll split 50-50. Oh, that's not a bribe, it's a hope. You know, I'm rather glad she isn't married to you. She's a very attractive girl.
What are you looking for? Excuse me. Want to try my shorthand? How long have you worked here? Long enough to know who my real friends are.
I'd rather you didn't. You found nothing in the others.
Are you stopping me?
Requesting you.
Sergeant?
No.
Roberts?
No floorboards loose, sir?
Thank you, sir, for your cooperation. I'm sorry to have disturbed you.
Oh, that's all right. I don't mind being disturbed. What I do object to, very strongly, is your posing as a prospective client and provoking me to break the law. Agent provocateur. No English words are bad enough to describe it. In court, they're dirty words, aren't they, Inspector? They'll blow up stronger cases than you will ever have.
Nothing I said provoked you, sir.
You went as near as you dared. You suspect me, don't you? Not one of my clients. Why don't you say so?
Look, you haven't broken the law because of anything I did, said, or implied.
Because I took great exception to your suggestions, fortunately for you.
For both of us. Good day, sir.
I
thought you said he went in with the money, sir.
Yes, I was wrong, Roberts. He went in with an empty suitcase, came out with it, stashed with cash. Killett's cash.
So he's Darsmith's courier.
I'd know him again. Shall we pick him up, sir?
No, there's no point, because that money isn't leaving the country.
You better sign this quick.
Get this off as a telegram, will you? I'll just add that latest instalment.
She's pretty nosy.
Pretty, yeah. Nosy is her business. Why?
She's trying to read it.
Wouldn't matter if she did. It's all business phraseology.
You don't seem a bit scared.
Why should I be? I can't lose, even if they arrest me.
How do you mean?
Take anything you want. We're not coming back.
Why didn't you accept his offer to go through the books?
Because he offered. Look, it's cash. It's all cash and no questions asked.
He takes his cut in cash, too.
And that's what we're after. His cut.
There's more on Killett from Geneva on your desk.
Right, sir.
The down payment on a villa, Fiat Dino convertible, all cash.
Yeah, well, that's not peanuts. He must have got out over 50,000 at this rate. Gamble? Right, switch him through. Go ahead, Freddie Sugarfire. Yeah. Well, stay with him. Darsmith shut up shop. Told the hall porter for the annual holiday.
So he has got on to you.
Well, he should have done. I just turned his place over.
You what?
Well, investment consultants. I mean, the share market list was days old. Financial papers were last week. And the stock exchange yearbook, well, it was nearly old enough to vote.
Oh, well, he's off then.
Oh! Pierre Schaffner, who met Killett. Darsmith's secretary was typing a letter to him. Schaffner et Compagnie, Geneva.
I'll alert airports and docks.
Thank you, sir.
You're early. Is something wrong?
No, I have to go away, that's all.
Oh. What will you need?
Well, don't worry, Liz, I'll pack myself.
But I always pack for you.
Yes, well, I don't know quite what I'll be needing this time.
Why are you going so suddenly? There's nothing wrong, is there? We're not short of money again.
Liz, it's years since that happened. Now, why do you always imagine the worst?
Well, whenever you've said things were difficult, I've always tried to be careful.
And I've always tried to give you what you wanted.
Oh, yes, Aubrey. I just wish...
It's all right, Liz, it's some business, friend.
Come in here.
Yes, well, for once I'm breaking my rule. I'm sorry.
Aubrey. You don't need me, do you?
No. Mr. and Mrs. Robinson, do come in. My wife's a little nervous.
Yes, Sergeant Hicks has already met her.
I see. Do sit down, Sergeant. Inspector? Well, you wheedled some useful information out of her, I hope.
You play your cards pretty close, don't you?
She wouldn't understand if I explained.
Oh, I don't know. It's a fairly simple operation, isn't it?
You obviously don't understand investment business.
I'll try. The client comes to you to sort out his money problems. Killett, for instance. You establish that he's genuine and then ask him to bring you his money. No receipt, no questions asked, and he leaves the country empty-handed.
Killett's bank transferred £5,000.
Oh, yes, he does the legitimate bit as well. But when he gets over there, your opposite number, Pierre Schaffner...
Ah, Pierre Schaffner is an expert in Swiss business affairs.
Yes,
I asked
well,
him
he meets him and hands over to Killett the equivalent in Swiss francs of the cash that he left with you. Less Schaffner's rake-off, of course. And then you hand over Killett's English money to one of Schaffner's clients who can't get money into this country, less your rake-off this time. And so no money actually crosses any customs barriers.
Nobody gets hurt. Everybody's very satisfied, it seems to me.
Except for the law. It's contravening the Exchange Control Acts. And how much of that money is untaxed?
Why don't you check my bank statement? There it is. Less than yours, I'll bet.
You've got it stashed away somewhere, haven't you? The point is, where?
Take my house apart. You did my office thoroughly enough.
No, you've no point. I mean, you've just offered, haven't you? There's nothing here.
Precisely.
Darsmith, you're not going to get away with exchanging any more hot money because you're going to be watched wherever you go, day and night.
I thought you were already taking care of that. All right. I don't mind. I confess. I got money out for Killett. £500. That's what you want?
Did you hear that, Sergeant?
Yes, sir?
I'll sign a statement. Oh, caution me first. You know what I'll get for contravening the exchange control regulations, don't you?
Well, 2 years.
With remission, it's no time at all, is it?
You've worked it all out, haven't you?
Oh, perhaps we could dispense with the trappings. Might upset my wife. After all, I've only been getting round a load of red tape everybody hates. Haven't defrauded anyone. Merely provided a service Killett was very happy to pay for.
Through the nose, no doubt.
So I'll take my punishment. It's worth it. Perhaps we could walk out like friends. Do you think the neighbours are terribly nosy?
Dowsmith, you're not going to go inside for 13 months and then come out to a small fortune.
Well, what would you like me to get for helping Killett take £500 out of the country? 30 years? You don't fix sentences. People with some sense of justice do that. Now, come on, take me in.
Dowsmith, when I take you in, it's going to be for a great deal more than 500 quid.
You call that a valid reason for not making an arrest?
Look, Dowsmith is quite prepared to serve his sentence and then come out to the money he's stashed away. I mean, we can't watch him forevermore. And when he does come out, he will be set up for life.
But you've got a confession in front of 2 police witnesses.
Look, he's making crime pay big dividends. That's why he was quite happy for me to charge him.
Don't let him slip you, Inspector, that's all.
Are you ordering me to bring him in, sir?
If he gets away, people high up aren't going to like it. They're going to come down pretty hard. On me, too. Bear that in mind.
Sergeant Higgs. Thank you. Dowsmith's secretary's in a travel agency booking plane tickets.
Don't worry. Have you got the tickets?
No, will we really be on this flight?
Doesn't really matter. Either way, the police lose.
And if we're not, you expect me to wait for you?
Cross that bridge if you ever come to it. I'll be back.
How come?
Well, she just walked in off the street, sir, and asked to see me. Hello, Mrs. Dowsmith. This is Superintendent Proud.
How do you do?
Would you come this way, please? Thank you.
Do sit down, Mrs. Dowsmith. Now then.
I have a feeling... Is Mr. Dowsmith in some sort of trouble?
Well, perhaps you know more than we do, Mrs. Dowsmith.
Yeah. I've been suspecting that something was wrong. I thought I should come and see if there's anything I could do to help.
Do you have any information to help us with our inquiries?
I mean to help him. He's a good man. I'm sure he wouldn't do anything that would harm anybody else. I've known for some time, but I didn't say anything because I couldn't risk that he'd leave me, so I carried on as
As if what, Mrs. Dowsmith?
if nothing had happened. I'd rather have him as he is than not at all.
You mean that the money was spent on worthwhile things, on your home, on yourself, and you turned a blind eye as to where it came from?
Blind eye? What money? I mean the different girls he's had, that secretary now. Is he in trouble about money?
You didn't know?
Is he in debt?
I'm afraid we're not at liberty to discuss any further, Mrs. Dowsmith. I'm sorry. Sergeant, will you?
Get Mrs. Dowsmith a car, will you, Sergeant? Oh, come in. Well, Killett's had another heart attack, sir. He died this morning. Nearly 500,000 francs found in his villa. I mean, that must be apart from what he's already spent.
You've got to pull Dowsmith in now. You've got no choice.
No, it's a matter of timing, sir.
Charge him. That's an order.
Look, there's something else, sir.
I said arrest him.
Look, Dowsmith's opera over there, Pierre Schaffner, left on a plane for England this morning.
What's that got to do with Killett's death?
Well, maybe we'll find out when Dowsmith goes to meet him.
Pull Dowsmith in now, money or no money.
Oh, but look, give me a few more hours, will you, sir?
You don't know that he's going to meet Schaffner. That could be a blind. Get him now while he's still around to get.
Sergeant Hicks? Thank you. Schaffner's just arrived, and Dowsmith wasn't there to meet him.
No, I think I know why he wasn't. Hello, Gamble? Yes, Robert?
Mrs. Dowsmith, how do you do?
Oh, Mr.
Schaffner, Pierre. Aubrey's associate from Geneva, remember?
Oh, yes, of course. I'm so sorry. Do come in.
Thank you. Thank you.
It must be... how long? Several years.
Oh, 6. It was in this very house that Aubrey and I planned our association. Mr. Harris is planning to open a branch of his business here in England.
I'm hoping to, if all goes well.
It will.
How do you do, Mrs. Dowsmith?
I'm afraid Aubrey's out. May I make you some tea?
Oh, no. It is not necessary. We are in a little hurry. Aubrey said that I may call to recover a book I sent to him. I wish to return it with
He
me.
didn't mention anything.
No, it is in a telegram I received this morning.
Well, most of his books are in here.
Dowsmith's on his own, sir. The 2 men have gone inside, but Dowsmith's staying put.
Right, you do the same.
But
I know my orders, Sergeant.
Ah, this is the one.
Dowsmith's still sitting tight, sir. They're coming out now. He's still watching them. Schaffner's got something in his hand. Looks like a book.
A book? Look, you give me the car number and description, and keep with Dowsmith. Look, get a car on their tail, without suspicion, and keep me informed.
If one of them's Schaffner, who's the other one?
Schaffner's client, here to collect his English money, which in this case is Dowsmith's commissions from all his previous transactions.
And Dowsmith's watching to make sure they do collect so that he can pick up his Swiss francs in Geneva. Well, if they collect the money before we get there, bang goes your case.
Quite.
We'll just about make it.
Thought you were never coming.
Nonsense.
A book. Is that all he asked for? Now, I mean, what sort of book?
One Mr. Dowsmith put some keys in. Oh, I haven't said anything I shouldn't.
Keys? What keys?
I didn't recognize them. Hello? Who? Would you hold on a moment? Inspector Gamble?
Hello, Gamble? Yes? Yes? Stay right there and watch.
Well,
Aubrey and I work identical systems. We have a much better security system.
and that magnificent safe of yours in your office in Switzerland?
Postage stamps and petty cash only.
And where are my English pounds?
No word from Inspector Gamble to detain anyone?
I'll check, see if anyone else knows anything.
What about the gas company?
There's no gas in here. You buy an old meter of the scrap heap, you take out the works, and then you really have a safe. Hola. Okay.
No word from Inspector Gamble, sir.
All right, I'll take full responsibility. Stop Dowsmith at the barrier.
Really looks as if Gamble's letting me go. What a remarkable man.
Mr. Dowsmith, would you come with us, please?
Couldn't face me with it himself, eh? Poor Gamble.
There. Harry's England Limited will be in business.
Right. Hang on now. Just in case.
Well, he won't get very far. Pierre Schaffner, isn't it?
That's right. I'm here on a visit. I've done nothing to contravene the laws of your country or mine. We are not cursed with exchange control regulations.
No, lucky you.
Now that's my money. Paid for.
Your money's in Switzerland, isn't it, Mr. Schaffner? All this is Dowsmith's money in my book.
I will repay it to you every centime.
Now, just one or two questions and answers, and you can go, Mr. Schaffner.
You insist that it was only one man that you helped?
Poor Killett, I told him not to worry so much. Look, I've already confessed it was a paltry sum, £500. Very foolish of me.
Killett got out nearer 50,000.
To name but one, there's been quite a few others over the past few years.
I don't know how you make such wild accusations.
Pierre Schaffner gave me the details. He's in the clear on his side, so he was anxious to keep in well with us, too.
You still insist that it was only Killett and only £500?
Well, maybe a little more. And one or two others.
Dowsmith, we've just recovered 71,500 quid.
And commission?
That's what he's saved of it. A dozen Killets a year. That's big money. This little nest egg is only 2% of what, Mr. Dowsmith? Oh, don't bother to work it out. I already have. Over 3.5 million quid.
Yes, well, supposing it is. I haven't hurt anyone. I've made a lot of people very happy.
By consistently breaking the law.
So unless you can pay a fine 3 times the amount of the money involved, which is 10 million quid, those people with a sense of justice you were talking about are going to have to add to your sentence.